Thanks for your time, Santham. Uh, since Three Pillars works a lot on machine learning, let's touch upon how this technology has evolved in 2016.
Okay, so before I can explain how it has evolved in 2016, I need to go a little further back. So, machine learning is not, it's an acronym that the industry has given to something that has existed in the academia for a long time. So, it actually is actually, it was a branch of statistics. And then, let's say in the 70s or the 80s, and then mathematicians used to work with it, like statisticians and mathematicians, but they used to work with a very small amount of data, and what they were trying to do was build mathematical models to, let's say, predict the weather or movement of the winds and things like that. Now with then the internet came through in the 90s, and then there was social media in last decade. So now we have a lot of data, we have a lot of processing power. Okay, we have the cloud as well came in, the cloud and the social. So now we have a lot of processing power in the cloud, we have a lot of data generated through social and through devices, and we have had all these algorithms from like forever, which are there. All three have come together, and this is what we are calling machine learning. So if you ask me specifically about the evolution in 2016, it is just a continuation of like more data, more processing power, cheaper processing power. So democratization of the computing power. Now anyone can run a GPU cluster with Amazon, right? And they can run very heavy duty algorithms for as long as they need to, and they can pay. It's cost effective because they pay as they go. So just it's a progression of like advancements over computing algorithms and cheaper costs.
Sure. Just when we are wrapping 2016, let's touch upon how machine learning is going to be evolving in 2017 and what kind of jobs that are going to be created with machine learning's evolvement.
Sure. So I think a big part of machine learning in next year is going to be, and going forward, will be personalization. So just today, while I was driving to work, I take a flyover. That flyover like had too many cars on it, so I had to take a new route. So I spoke into my phone and I said route to work. That's exactly the word that I use, route to work, and it understood that I needed to go to work. It opened up the Maps application, Google Maps application, and my route to work was set. I had obviously saved what my work is, but it was able to navigate me just through my voice command, and that is pretty awesome, right? So and that's what's going to become more and more. So you have Cortana from Microsoft, you have Google Assistant, you have Siri. So personalization is going to be a big thing, and now we are seeing chatbots come into the picture. So you probably there will be certain situations where you'll not realize that you're not talking with a human. So that's the next big thing.
Sure. What is the next stage for machine learning to come? I mean, you said it is going to be personalized, but will machine learning evolve into some other technology, or something else is going to take over machine learning going forward?
So I think we'll hear of it in different ways, and just like machine learning itself has evolved from number of acronyms that it started with statistics, and then went into computational computational linguistics, and there are different forms of machine learning as well. So what we'll see more applications in smaller devices as well. So and you can take your imagination to any point, and you can see some form of machine learning there.
You hire a lot of professionals on machine learning. Do you get enough talent in India for that matter? And is the talent equipped enough to work, to come in straight work, get onto the job, or you have to train them?
So I think there is a lot of talent in India. However, what we are seeing right now in the industry is it's not a problem of jobs right now, but it's more a problem of business understanding machine learning, because people are still suspicious about the results, and there is a bridge between technology and business. So if there is a demand, you will find it. You will find someone to fulfill the demand. I would say that demand is still has not reached the peak. It is still peaking. There are very few companies who have enough data to warrant machine learning. So that's why I would say, so I don't think that it's a supply problem. I think it's a demand problem right now.
Sure. Um, Besides machine learning, what are the technologies that Three Pillars works on?
So we work on the full spectrum of technology. So we are we are a Java shop, we are a .NET shop. So entire spectrum of Java and .NET, and then machine learning also doesn't exist in a vacuum, right? So you need to work with things like the cloud. So we have AWS experts. So we do a lot of work with AWS. We're working with Microsoft Azure, is the Microsoft cloud learning platform. Uh, Also, Hadoop, Scala, Spark, all these other technologies which enable fast processing of data and processing large data. And then we are seeing a lot of work done on JavaScript, on Node.js, AngularJS, React, the front end technologies and the back end JavaScript, the full stack, as they're so called. So there's the entire spectrum.
Sure. Coming back to the machine learning talent point that we just discussed, what is the kind of talent demand that is there in the market, and what are the kind of qualities that someone looks for while hiring a machine learning professional?
So what I look for is a solid understanding of statistics, because unfortunately there's a lot of hype around it. And when I've attended and when I've led meetups, there is always someone in the audience who has a very different idea of machine learning. So when we present the hardcore statistician approach, and looking at algorithms and how data defines the approach, and how you need to bring in the human element, it's always a surprise for people. And so I think having a very strong background in statistics is a must. And then on top of that, you need to understand social factors, if how you're collecting data actually impacts the final result. So some idea of sociology, how you collect data, social sciences also helps in this matter.
Sure. Any soft skills that can help a person become a good machine learning professional?
Yeah, that's what I was referring to, the social aspects of it.
Okay.
So it's very important to understand human behavior.
Okay.
It's important to understand. So when you look at raw data, it's very easy to sort of get into a disrespect for people, because so let's say we're looking at data for teenage pregnancies. Okay, I mean you can get lost in that data basically, because it will tell you so many startling things that you don't encounter in real life. But I think as a data scientist or as a machine learning expert, you need to be above judgment and you need to treat data as data basically. So that's very important.
Sure. I'm talking of the millennial generation, not the freshers. From the millennial generation, who are the ideal people to become machine learning experts?
People who pass out from ISI Calcutta.
Okay. No, well, that's the standard answer, but I'm talking of from what profession can someone evolve into a machine learning professional?
So definitely some background with a math background, some profession with a math background will help greatly. But I think what I have discovered is that these things can be taught, but I think some level of empathy is needed. I would say that I have known people who are coming from a sociology background in the US, and they are now data scientists because they were able to pick the algorithms and things like that. But it's very important to factor in human, if you your results may be telling you something, but that result may be wrong. When you factor in a human element to it, then you're like, no, probably this data, I've done something wrong in my model, this is why this is coming in. So I've seen many times people adjusting for simple things like thresholds and making incorrect predictions when they don't factor in the human angle. So I think that is very important.
Alright. What is the kind of job demand that we will see in machine learning, and what are the kind of sectors that will employ machine learning professionals in 2017?
So I think at least for 2017, I still think it's going to be a niche play, because like I said, not every company has the kind of data to actually make use of machine learning, and also businesses are still waking up and realizing how they can use machine learning. I think people are very comfortable with reporting and business intelligence, observing past data, but there's a lot of inertia, I would say, in taking the next step forward and taking into predictions. And a lot of this goes back to the question about value, right? So CIOs are trying to understand, okay, is there value in trying to answer this question or not? Which is the correct question? So I think it's a process of discovery, but I think probably 30% companies are there when they know the questions that they need to answer. Largely 70% of the companies don't even know what questions they need answers for. So they have the data, but they don't know what questions they need answers for. I think that is the big gap that the CIOs must address.
So how do the CIOs address this gap?
So typically they need to. I mean, it's a matter of someone showing the mirror to you. So if you are, and it's a matter of working outside of the business or on the business rather than in the business. So as a CIO, your daily routine, you have 10 things to do. So you need to step out of that. Maybe engage with, a consultant, or a set of consultants who understand your business domain very well, and get some fresh perspective out. I think that's the only way, because you need to look at your business in a new light to bridge that gap.
Sure. Are there some sectors where machine learning will be big going forward?
Yeah, retail is big. Retail, travel. Actually, I think it's a matter of where you put your imagination and energy to. Every sector is equally liable, and today, Google Cloth is something. So Google is putting computers, little nano microcomputers in your clothing basically. So they respond to different differences in temperature and things like that. So it can auto cool you basically. So it's just a matter of imagination. So there's no specific industry which will benefit more or less than the other, but it's just a matter of who takes the lead on this.
Sure. Thank you so much for your time, Sayantan. Thank you very much.
Yeah.